Hi everyone, welcome back sa aking channel. For today's video, we will solve the acute angle between two curves. So we have, this is the graph of the two functions, y equals f sub 2 of x and y equals f sub 1 of x. So we are looking for the acute angle. So this is the acute angle. Yan. So acute angle between the two curves. So the acute angle between two curves may be defined as at their point of intersection, may be defined as the acute angle between their respective tangent. So this is the tangent of y equals f sub 1 of x, and this line is the tangent line of y equals f sub 2 of x at this point of intersection. So this point of intersection, let's say x sub o, y sub o. Okay, so we are looking for this. If the tangent lines are not perpendicular or 90 degrees, so we can solve the acute angle and the obtuse angle. So we have a pair of linear pair yan. So we have acute angle and this one is the obtuse angle. Okay, so we can solve both of the two angles, the acute and the obtuse. Okay, so if this is the acute angle, so we can solve this as, so this part is, we can let this as theta sub 1, and for this part is, this is, let's say this is theta sub 2. So to get the value of this angle, acute angle P, so this is equal to, P is equal to theta sub 1, theta sub 1, or theta sub 2. So this is bigger. Okay, theta sub 2 minus theta sub 1. Okay, so because this is the angle, theta sub 2, so this is the angle, theta sub 2, from this, starting position natin, theta sub 2, and then if we subtract this angle, so we will erase this, so this is the theta sub 2, and then if we subtract the theta sub 1, so this is the theta sub 1, then we will get, this is the acute angle P is equal to theta sub 2 minus theta sub 1. Okay? Then we will get the tangent of both sides. We get the tangent of both sides of the equation. So we have tangent P is equal to tangent of theta sub 2 minus theta sub 1. Then we have formula for this difference of tangent of difference of two angles. So apply the identity. So therefore we have tangent P is equal to, apply the formula for the identity for this. So we have tangent theta sub 2 minus tangent theta sub 1 over 1 plus tangent theta sub 2 times tangent theta sub 1. So that is an identity. So to find the acute angle between the two curves, so just get the inverse of tangent is arctangent. Or we also define the tangent as the slope. So we will substitute the m for the tangent. So therefore our formula will become, let's substitute tangent theta sub 2 as m sub 2, and then tangent theta sub 1 m sub 1 over, we have 1 plus m sub 2 times m sub 1. Okay, so if we solve for the tangent theta, it depends on the value of this expression m sub 2 minus m sub 1 over 1 plus m sub 2 times m sub 1. So the value can be either positive or negative, or it can be obtuse or acute. If we are looking for only for the acute angle, so we should get the absolute value, so that we will solve the acute angle. Because if we do not get the absolute value, we can solve for the acute angle, we will get acute or obtuse. So if we take the absolute value, we will only get the acute angle. So this is the formula that we are going to use to find the acute angle between two curves. So tangent phi, so this is the acute angle, equals m sub 2 minus m sub 1 over 1 plus m sub 2 and m sub 1. So what are the steps in finding the acute angle between the two curves? So first step is find their intersection. Find the point of intersection, x sub 0, y sub 0. So first step, find the point of intersection of the two curves. Second step, find the slope of the tangent line using the derivative. So differentiate the two functions because we define the derivative as the slope of the tangent line at the point of tangency x sub o, y sub o. Okay, then after getting the intersection and the derivative, so we get the slope, just substitute the slope to this formula so that we can get the value of the acute angle. Okay, so example number 1. Example number 1. Find the acute angle between the two curves. So find the acute angle of intersection between the curves. X squared equals 8y and xy equals 8. Okay, so find the acute angle between the intersection of this. So first step is find the point of intersection. So solve the point of intersection. So we can solve for y of both equations and then equate so that we can solve the value of x. So solve for y for this equation number 1. So divide both sides by 8, therefore y is equal to x squared over 8. So this equation number 1. And then for this, divide both sides of the equation by x. So therefore, we have y. Divide both sides by x, so therefore y is equal to 8 over x. So this is our equation number 2. So they are both equal to y. So therefore, just equate this. So therefore, we have x squared over 8 equals 8 over x. Then solve for x. Solve for x, just cross multiply. So cross multiply since we have proportion. So x squared times x, so we have x cubed equals 8 times 8. So that is equal to 64. And then solve for x, extract the cube root of both sides. Cube root of both sides. So therefore, x is equal to 64 can be expressed as 4 cubed. 4 times 4 is 16 times 4 is 64. So therefore, the value of x is equal to, so this cancel. So we have x is equal to 4. So when x is equal to 4, what is the value of y? Substitute in either 1 or 2. So substitute in equation number 2. So therefore, y is equal to 8 over 4. So therefore, y equals 2. So the point of intersection is 4, 2. Okay? So let's erase this. The point of intersection is, let's write the point of intersection, P. So we have 4, 4, 2. Okay? So we have 4, 2. We can erase this. Now find the slope. Okay? So find the slope by getting the derivative. We can use this equation or this equation in finding the derivative. So or this one, the explicit. So we can use implicit or explicit. Okay? It depends sa inyo kung anong gusto nyong gamitin. Okay, so for me, I will use the implicit differentiation. For this, we have x squared equals 8y. So differentiate with respect to x. So derivative of x squared is 2x. Derivative of 8y is 8y prime. Derivative of 8y is 8. And then if we differentiate y with respect to x, so it's always followed by y prime. Then solve for y prime, divide both sides by 8. So therefore, y prime is equal to 2x over 8. Reduce to lowest term, so that is equal to 2 over 8, so that is 1/4. So x over 4. So therefore, the slope of this, so let's, m sub 1 is equal to, substitute the point of intersection, 4, 2. So substitute 4, 2. X is equal to 4. So we have 4 over 4. So therefore, n sub 1 is equal to 1. Okay? So n sub 1 equals 1. So now, solve for n sub 2. Again, using the derivative. So we can use xy equals 8 or this 8 over x. So we can use either of the two equations. So for this, we use implicit, and then for this one, we will use explicit. So let's use this 8 over x. So we have direct formula for this. So what is a direct formula for this? So we will use a derivative of constant over x to the n. So that is equal to, the derivative of that is negative cn over x to the n plus 1. Okay? So therefore, we have direct formula for this. So y prime is equal to, the exponent is 1, so times 8, so negative 8 over x to the exponent is 1 plus 1, x squared. Okay, so therefore, the n sub 2, just substitute the value of x since we don't have y. So we have negative 8 over x is 4, so we have 4 squared. So therefore, we have negative 8 over 4 squared, 16. n sub 2, therefore, is equal to negative 8 over 16 is negative 1 half. So n sub 2 is negative 1 half. So now, we can substitute to the formula. Substitute to the formula, so we have tangent P, this is the acute angle, equals absolute value of n sub 2 minus n sub 1 over 1 plus n sub 2 times n sub 1. So just substitute all the values. We have n sub 2 is negative 1 half, and then minus 1 all over 1 plus n sub 2 negative 1 half times n sub 1, we have 1. So just simplify. So we have tangent P is equal to 1 half minus 1. So that is equal to negative 1 half minus, express negative 1 as negative 2 over 2. So therefore, that is equal to negative 3 over 2 all over, so we have 1 half times 1, so that's equal to 1 minus 1 half. So subtract, 1 will become 2 over 2 minus 1 half, so that's equal to 1 half. Then simplify further, also we have over 2 pareha, so we can cancel out 2. And then take the absolute value of negative 3 over 1, that is negative 3. So therefore, tangent P is equal to absolute value of negative 3 over 1. So that is simply 3. Okay? And then last step is take the arctangent of both sides to get the value of P. So therefore, the value of the acute angle of intersection is equal to arctangent of 3. So just type that on your calculator, the arctangent of 3. Arctangent of 3, the answer is 71.56. So the theta is equal to, the acute angle is 71.56 degrees. That is the final answer, 71.56 degrees, or in degrees minutes, that is equal to 71 degrees, 33 minutes and 54 seconds. So it depends on your instructor which is the preferred answer, in degrees, minutes, seconds, or in decimal. Okay, so example number 2. Okay, number 2, find the acute angle between the two curves, y squared equals 2x and 4x squared plus 4y squared plus 5y equals 0. So first step, find the point of intersection. So either solve for x or y in equation number 1, and then substitute in equation number 2. So for this example, it's easier if we will solve for x. because there is only one x in equation number 2 and we have two y's in equation number 2. So solve for x, so just divide both sides of the equation by 2. So therefore, we have x is equal to y squared over 2. And then, substitute the value of x, y squared over 2 in this equation. Okay, so substitute. So therefore, we have 4 times x will become y squared over 2. Then we have squared plus 4y squared plus 5y equals 0. So simplify, distribute the exponent. So we have 4 times y squared is squared. So just multiply the exponent. We have y to the 4th over 2 squared. So that is 4. So we can cancel 4 divided by 4. That is 1. Then just copy plus 4y squared plus 5y equals 0. So therefore we have y to the 4th plus 4y squared plus 5y equals 0. The exponent is, the degree of this function is to the 4th, so therefore the number of solutions is at most 4. Okay, so solve for the values or the roots of y. So factor out y since they all have y. So we have y times y cubed plus factor out y. So we have 4y plus 5 equals 0. Okay, so therefore one of the solution, equate each factor to 0. So one of the solution is y equals 0. Y equals 0. Then meron pa tayo. So y sub 1 yan. Ito y sub 2. So we can have y sub 3 and y sub 4. So for this, y cubed plus 4y plus 5 equals 0. We can solve this by synthetic division or rational zero theorem. Synthetic divisor will be the factors of positive 5. So that will be 1, negative 1, 5, and negative 5. So try natin yung mga rational zero theorem natin. So, or rational zeros natin. So therefore, we have just write there is no y squared term. So we can write 0 for that. So just write the numerical coefficient, the constant. So we have 1 for y cubed, 0 for y squared, 4 for y, and 5 for the constant. So we will try negative 1. So try negative 1, so the remainder must be 0, so that the negative 1 is a solution if the remainder is 0. So by synthetic division, so bring down 1, multiply by negative 1. So we have negative 1, add 0 minus 1, negative 1, multiply, so we have 1, 4 plus 1 is 5, and then 5 times negative 1, that is negative 5. Okay, the remainder is 5 minus 5, the remainder is 0. So therefore, this can be expressed as y times negative 1 is 0, therefore that is y plus 1. And then the quotient, so just write the variable. So we have y squared minus y plus 5 equals 0. So therefore, we have two roots, y equals 0 and y plus 1 or negative 1 is a solution. So therefore, y sub 2 equals negative 1. Okay, so now we will use a quadratic formula for this term. If there is another solution, so use quadratic formula for this term. So the quadratic formula is we have y, so y equals negative b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all divided by 2a. So the value of a is the coefficient of y squared, 1, b is negative 1, and then c is the constant, 5. So substitute this to this, so we have y equals negative of negative 1, so that will become positive 1, plus or minus square root of negative 1 squared, so we have negative 1 squared minus 4 times a, which is 1, and then times c, we have 5. All divided by 2 times a, which is 1. So therefore, y is equal to 1 plus or minus square root of negative 1 squared, that is 1, minus 4 times 5, so that is 20. So we have negative 19 over 2. So this is imaginary. So therefore, imaginary, it doesn't exist in the Cartesian plane. So therefore, we only have 2 points of intersection when y equals 0 and y sub 2 equals negative 1. So there is no intersection here. Okay, so therefore, we can solve for the value of, let's erase this. So solve for the value of x when y equals 0 and y equals negative 1. So when y equals 0, therefore x is also, when y equals 0, x is also 0. When y equals negative 1, we have negative 1, square that, so we have still 1, negative 1 squared is positive 1 divided by 2, 1 half. Okay, so therefore we have 2 points of intersection, x equals 0 and y equals 0. But we are only looking for the acute angle. Okay, so we are only looking for acute angle, so let's try to graph this. Let's try to graph. The graph of this y squared equals 2x, so this is a parabola since y is square and then we have 2x. So this is a parabola that opens to the right. Okay, so this is the graph, the approximate graph, y squared equals 2x. And then their point of intersection is 0, 0. And then we have 1 half negative 1. So if this is 1, negative 1. So negative 1 half is here. Yan, so this is their point of intersection. The 2 points of intersection. The graph of 4x squared plus 4y squared plus 5y equals 0. This is a circle, y circle, because we have y squared and x squared and their coefficients are equal, both 4. So the graph of that approximately, yan. So approximately this is the graph of 4x squared plus 4y squared plus 5y equals 0. So this is ito yung original na, yung eksaktong graph. Ayan, eksaktong graph, gamit yung GeoGebra. Ayan, so the point of intersection, ayan, the angle of, the acute angle is this, this is the acute angle at 1 half and negative 1. Because when x equals 0 and y equals 0, the tangent line of this is the y-axis, tangent line of this one. And the tangent line at 0, 0 of this circle is the y-axis, x-axis. Yeah, so therefore, their intersection or the angle between their tangents is 90 degrees. And we are looking for acute angle. So this the intersection, the angle for this is 90 degrees. So therefore, we will solve for the acute angle of this point of intersection, 1 half and negative 1. So we're looking for this, the value of this acute angle. Okay, so now solve using the derivative. Okay. We have 2 points of intersection, but the angle between this point 0, 0 is 90 degrees. So that is not the answer that we are looking for. We're looking for the acute angle for this point of intersection. So get the slope by finding the derivative. Y squared equals 2x. Get the derivative, I will use, let's use implicit differentiation. So y squared, derivative of that is 2y, followed by y prime. Equals derivative of 2x is 2. Divide both sides by 2y. So therefore, we have y prime, or that is the slope, m sub 1 is equal to 1. We can cancel that, so that is 1 over y. But the value of y is negative 1. So therefore, m sub 1 equals 1 over negative 1. 1 over negative 1, so therefore that is equal to negative 1. Right, so m sub 1 equals negative 1. Then solve for m sub 2. So solve for m sub 2, so we have 4x squared plus 4y squared plus 5y equals 0. So again, we will use implicit differentiation. So derivative of 4x squared, so that is 8x, plus derivative of 4y squared, that is 8y, followed by y prime. Derivative of 5y is positive 5. 5y, derivative of 5y is 5, and then y prime equals derivative of 0 is 0. Solve for y prime, factor out y prime, we have 8y plus 5 y prime. So factor out y prime. And then put 8x to the other side. So we have negative 8x. Then therefore, the derivative y prime is equal to, divide both sides by this term, we have negative 8x over 8y plus 5. Then substitute the values of x and y. So therefore, we have negative 8. The value of x is 1/2. The value of y is negative 1 plus 5. So therefore, we have negative 8 times 1/2. So that's equal to negative 1/4 or negative 4, sorry. Negative 8 times 1/2, that is negative 4 over negative 8 plus 5. Negative 8 plus 5, that is equal to negative 3. So therefore, m sub 2 is equal to positive 4 over 3. So we have m sub 2 is positive 4 over 3. So now we can solve the value of the acute angle. The value of the acute angle is, just use the formula. Use the formula. Therefore, we have tangent P is equal to absolute value of m sub 2 minus m sub 1 over 1 plus m sub 2 times m sub 1. So just substitute all the values that we obtained. We have m sub 2 is 4 over 3 minus 1 minus negative 1. So 4 over 3, then we have minus negative 1. So this will become positive 1. Okay? And then we have 1 plus m sub 2, we have 4/3, and then times negative 1. Okay, so just simplify. We have tangent phi is equal to 4/3 plus 1. So we can write 1 as 3 over 3. So that we have similar fractions. And then we have 1, 4/3 times 1. So we have, that is positive 4/3. So, or negative 4/3. So express 1 as denominator of 3 again. So we have 3 over 3 minus 4 over 3. So therefore, we have tangent phi is equal to 4/3 plus 3 of 4/3 plus 3 over 3, that is 7 over 3 all over 3/4 minus 4/3, so that is negative 1/3. So simplify, we can cancel the 3 because we will interchange that. So or in shortcut, we can cancel 3 and 3, and then 7 divided by negative 1, that is negative 7. And then take the absolute value. So therefore, we have tangent P is equal to 7, and therefore P is equal to arctangent of 7. So therefore, the final answer is just use your calculator to solve the value of arctan 7. Okay, so kunin ko lang calculator. So the exact value, approximate lang. So we have arctangent of 7, so we have 81. So therefore, P is equal to 81.8698, so that is 81.87 degrees, or in degree minute seconds, so we have 81 degrees 52 minutes 11, or round off, we have 12 seconds. Okay, so I hope you learned something from this video. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you will be updated on my upcoming videos. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye and God bless.